Hey, what's up guys, this is Astranox. This is my Europe account. I'm gonna 3-man Golem 11. This is my team. I've been running this since the start, and I mean it was initially a 4-man setup and then I changed to a 3-man setup. Ken was my selective 7. Ken Achates plus Carmen Rose is what I started with because I wanted to get a Golem 11 team going up like ASAP. So there's a lot of efficiency in the fact that I can get experience on a fodder for a long time. I've been making a lot of 6 stars. I have over 20 6-star heroes. So far it's been 100 and maybe 9 days since the Europe release. And that was what I planned. That's what I've been doing. Of course, the Golem sets, they are not as efficient as other sets in terms of efficiency. But I wanted to go for a team that is more tanky. Different playstyle. Have my heroes on defense being able to just take a little bit more damage. So I can actually reach, like I can survive up until I can go and then sustain my team. That was the plan. Carmen Rose, she's running on the second set of lifesteal gear from the Abyss, plus maybe some gear from Labyrinth, something like that. Ken, I mean, he keeps on getting enhanced. I'm using him almost everywhere, so he is very powerful, and he's fully Molagored. Carmen Rose, she's 033. Achates, she's like 204, and no, she's 20 max, so maybe it's 205. That's the skill ups on her. But Daydream Joker is on Ken. Daydream Joker is on Carmen Rose. Attack break, defense down. You know, that's huge. You increase your damage output, you lower the enemy's damage. Defense down plus Daydream Joker. That's how you deal a lot of damage against a target with high HP. I'll just do another run, and then I'll just show the gear. Lifesteal set on Carmen Rose for Golem actually does work because she's able to sustain herself a bit more. I mean, she's able to heal herself. She's already healing herself with skill 1. But now she can heal herself and help Achates, because Achates is not like healing all the time, and there could be a moment where it's like a defense down from the Golem plus a counter attack that shortly follows, and maybe Achates, her skills on cooldown. Maybe if Prophetic Candlestick on Achates didn't trigger. So there's some moments where she can potentially get killed, but she's able to sustain herself. And there's a few runs where Carmen Rose just die, and then it's left to Ken and Achates, and they can do it. Like they can finish off the run, so it's cool. So if you run a team like this, Carmen Rose, you don't have to invest too much into her. Soon enough, we won't need Molagora to actually skill enhance 3-star heroes. A lot more players will, I mean, work on 6-starring 3-star heroes. They will start to skill them up with the Stigma, so they will become more popular. Well, more than now, that's for sure. But she's a great hero because her whole kit, well, helps for this because she can remove buff. She's able to reduce combat readiness of the target with her skill 2. She's able to keep attack buff and defense buff on herself. Like, it has a high uptime. And Daydream Joker is definitely the artifact to go for because it's going to increase her damage output, which in turn also increase her healing on herself. And you definitely want to kill the Golem as fast as possible. The longer it takes, and the more he starts to ramp up and he deals more and more damage, and it gets dangerous, like very dangerous. If Achates just cleansed, and then you shortly get hit by a defense down into a counter attack, you're in for like a lot of damage. And then like it could happen again before she even uses her skill 3, especially if Prophetic Candlestick doesn't trigger. So I'll be showing my gear, and I'll talk more about why this team is so good. It's mostly because all these heroes are obtainable from the selective summon. And that's really a beautiful thing, because I mean, Ken can be used almost everywhere. He does provide pretty good camping morale in Raid and Labyrinth as well. But like, you can literally bring him almost everywhere, which is a major plus when it comes down to powering up a hero in this game. So that's his stats. It's just the Molagoras. I mean, it's fully powered up. But I was able to do this without so many skill ups on him. This is overkill, right? This is like much better stats than I had when I first started to do this. And I was able to move from a 4-man team to a 3-man team quite early, which allowed me to, well, 6-star so many heroes. And I was able to do multiple things at once, which is definitely what you should aim for in this game if you want to progress as fast as possible. And just be able to make 6 stars on the side. So Achates. Carmen Rose, she does die. Like it does happen. I do have a speed set on Achates, but it's not that good. Like, I was actually farming Wyvern 10 for a bit, and I did clear Wyvern 11 as well. But I did a bit of crafting of item level 85, and I was able to just gear Achates with these stats. I actually had a bit better gear on her before, like she had a bit more speed, and I was doing just fine. Like, I was able to do this with less than 15k HP and like 1000 defense. It was all good. I was able to do it. The issue is not having her survive. The issue is keeping Carmen Rose alive and being able to cycle through her skills faster so she can dispel more often with this. And skill 2 before didn't have the part that says decrease skill cooldown by 1 turn. Now that is helping quite a bit. And if she's hitting Carmen Rose with this, well, it's lowering her cooldown. If Carmen Rose like dies, it's gonna happen on herself, meaning that she's gonna be able to use skill 3 more often, which is gonna be she's gonna be able to keep herself and Ken alive for a much longer period as well. Now the attack break from Achates is huge, because I mean, it cuts the attack in half from the Golem. Ken can do it as well, so big survival boost from that. But you can't rely on debuffs that much in there, because you've got the tree that just keeps on cleansing and healing. So there's that. This team does not rely on healable debuff. I mean, the 4-man team that was running before had Mascot Hazel as the fort. She was speeding up the run, because I mean, there's greater attack buff on fire heroes. There's unhealable. I mean, Mascot Hazel, she doesn't have the gear anymore. But yeah, she does provide some cool things for the group. Skill ups 033. And I mean, these skills are just great. Her stats, since we've got the flat stat increase, it was very good to, I mean, it did up her survival. So, of course, that's good. It's making all the everything in the game, like PV content, is easier because of it. So you've got the Abyss, 4-piece of the Abyss item level 71 set, which is the second one that you can obtain. This pair of boosts, you obtain that from adventure from a gold chest. It's like in zone something like 8, 9, or 10. It could be like 8. And they did roll well, but 85% crit chance is what you want on a fire hero against a earth target, because you do get a hidden 15% crit chance. And this necklace, I believe this necklace was from the Adventurer's Path. Yeah, that's it. and it did roll with some ungodly amount of effectiveness, luckily, but I do have more than I need. You only need 55% effectiveness for Golem 11. Any Hunts 11, you need only 55% effectiveness. You press on the portrait of the boss, you check how much effect resistance they have. So in case of Hunts 11, they have 70% effect resistance, and you only need 55% effectiveness to counter 70% effect resistance, because there's always 15% that you just cannot counter. It's just the way the game is designed. So yeah, I mean, I believe I did show her stats. I'll do it one more time. I don't think this gear actually rolled crazy good. Like, it didn't roll like very good. It's alright. And now you've got some more padding because the flat stat increase did increase survival and offensive power, like the main stat on these pieces of gear. But you can't do this without the lifesteal. What you're gonna need is better survival stats, because she's not gonna be able to, well, she's not fully sustaining herself, but she's helping Achates to stay alive, to keep herself alive, which is really good. But you do need a bit more survival stats. Actually, you'll be fine with these stats now, these survival stats, without lifesteal set, because after we got the flat stat increase boost. But like, it was quite lower than this before, and I was doing fine. So now without lifesteal, you'll be fine with this. But Daydream Joker is definitely helping a ton. And of course, like the constant attack buff, defense buff, you know, like the decreased speed and the increased speed on herself, the combat readiness reduction. The whole kit is just great on that hero. Easy to obtain, so that's a major plus. So there you go. And it's like I said, like the big strength about this team is that you've got Ken, which is, I mean, he's a god, and you have Achates, which can be used in a lot of the content in the game. I mean, she's not top tier, of course, in PvP, but she can definitely do just fine early to mid game. In the late game, she does get outshine, but she can do really good for you early on. And it's really powerful when you have a hero that just straight up cleanses every debuff on your team and then heal. And this scales off of her max HP, this and this, but of course the big heal comes out of this, and I maxed it out because of that reason. And also when you do soul burn this thing, the healing increase is quite major. But make sure you do have Prophetic Candlestick on her. It will help you a lot to be able to have her cooldowns reduced. I mean, when you have these two on cooldown and it does trigger, I mean, it's lowering both of them by 1 turn, which is huge. It is huge. And you've got constant AoE attacks coming your way, constant area damage hitting your whole team because the Golem is counter-attacking. Or, I mean, any attack of the Golem hits everyone on the team. So that's another... that's why you want to use Prophetic Candlestick, because the chance to trigger during the whole fight is quite high, and it will definitely help you out. So yeah, I just wanted to showcase my team. I did it in the past. I mean, we've got the flat stat increase that did change some of the stats, but I mean, the requirement to actually make this thing work is much lower than the stats that I actually have now. And you can get by with much lower HP defense, lower speed on Achates. If you have much lower speed, let's say, than what I have, because maybe you don't have a speed set, right? You can just have higher survival on all your heroes, so they can actually survive up until that heal comes in. But yeah, it's just gonna work fine. And you can just solely farm Golem and use the HP defense set. And the attack set, you could have Carmainerose on attack set. And you could have HP and defense set for Achates. You could have purely HP sets on Ken. But you can mix and match, it's all good. You can run broken set if a piece rolls super well. The thing is, like the adventurous path, the gear from there is actually helping a lot as well. So it's definitely not hard to get the Hunt 11 team going, especially if you plan for it during selective summon, if you plan for it early on, if your goal is just to get these heroes up and running and get in there and start to just kill the boss and get some gear, then yeah, you will be promoting your heroes accordingly. You will be in there in not too long, and you'll be farming and crafting very fast. And then you can transition into a 4-man team, into a 3-man like I did. But Mascot Hazel, I mean, I've swapped her gear so many times. She doesn't have gear anymore, really. But I did skill this up to get the -1 turn cooldown when I was using her. And her healing output is definitely not she's far from being as high as Achates. Like, when it comes to her healing, she might rely pretty heavily on a Rod of Amaryllis, because these things scale off of her attack, you know, as well as the target's max HP. And this is target's max HP and caster's attack. So if you're here, like, she won't help so much to heal Carmen Rose because her attack is low, but now it's better because of the flat stat increase. But still, she's not enough to keep Carmen Rose healthy by herself. So I do have Tamarine that I actually want to gear, and just I can just replace potentially Achates and just have Tamarine, Ken, and Carmen Rose. Even like I can probably duo at this point if I really wanted. But I feel like the runs are going to be shorter, and there's going to be some failures in there, because as the damage start to ramp up from the golem, you're taking a lot of damage, and so that's why you want to take him out ASAP. And actually, Carmen Rose is, I mean, her whole kit, decreasing speed, decreasing combat readiness, that's very, very powerful, and she's able to cycle through returns faster because she's actually on speed buff quite often, you know. And these buffs, the whole thing, very, very powerful. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Press the bell icon to be notified whenever I release a new video, and check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. Playlists of all sorts: Arena, Guild Wars, guides, tips, and how-tos, and Abyss 462+. So check those out if you haven't. And also join my Discord server. The link is in the description. And good luck with all you do in the game. Peace out for now.